And our final participant of the day is Greg Nyland from Barley Forge Brewing. Greg, where are you? Come on up. Oh, you got the whole team. All right. All right, Greg, got a timer there and a clicker there.
Good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity to present on behalf of Barley Forge Brewing Company. My name is Greg Nyland. I'm the president and co-founder of the brewery, and I'm here with Kevin Buckley, our head of brewing operations. A little bit about our story. I've been an entertainment and intellectual property litigator in West LA for the last 25 years. I've been a home brewer for about the same amount of time. And about 15 years ago, a little bug, that home brewing bug, started buzzing really loud me and made me realize that maybe I didn't want to spend all my time injecting myself into what is often the worst moment in people's lives. In the form of litigation. So I left the firm, and we opened in Orange County near Irvine, where I grew up, with a very strong team that you see up here on this first slide. We chose Orange County because it's a real cultural melting pot, and we saw a real void in that part of the county in terms of a production brewery. Over a 3 million population. Of that, over 500,000 are Asian, and over 1 million are Hispanic. So hence our mission statement, as you can see, is Barley Forge creates robust, unique, and tasty beers inspired by the cultural melting pot of Southern California. Thus, our family-funded brewery was born. Moving to some branding here. Branding is important to me as an intellectual property lawyer, of course, and it's really important to launching any product. So our branding is inspired by Mexican loteria themes, in part, also a playful and humorous look. We've been working on this branding for over a decade as we've thought about this whole project. Our beers are also geared towards this melting pot. We have the Patsy, which is our coconut rye stout and has become our flagship, and you have that here to taste. It goes really well with spicy Thai food and Mexican food. We also have, for example, Don Perfecto or Horchata Wit. We also have an Ambriel with agave extract El Tecnico. And we picked the 12-ounce heritage package because it fits our brand. It's got that nice vintage look. We're really going for a 40s and 50s aesthetic with the packaging. We have a different color for the packaging, of saturated colors for every SKU, so it really pops on the shelf, as you'll see in the next page when I get to there. You can see some of our core brands here and our seasonals and specials. Moving on to our last slide regarding our future, you'll see how that packaging really looks on this end cap display. We'd love to see a lot more of that. And we are also going to focus on developing our core brands. We may end up, now that we have a year of experience under our belt, we may end up cutting back that core slightly. And our specials will really be tied into the core. For example, the Patsy with Thunder King cold brew coffee, etc. And it's only onward and upward from there. So thank you for this opportunity.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so it's certainly a lot to work with. Some unique beer styles, some pretty good-looking packaging to go with it. Carmen, what are your initial thoughts?
So initially, the Loteria cards I think are really brilliant for branding. I think that gives you lots of scalability and options to work within things, while at the same time communicating the cultural references that you mentioned. And I think that gives the brand a real sense of place, like it really sort of grounds you in Orange County. So I think that's really smart.
And what do you think about the beers, Ben? We saw a lot of different, horchata, coconut rye stout. I mean, some pretty unique flavors that they're bringing to market.
Yeah, very, very much. Having worked with a fair amount of one-offs and whatnot, I thought that the addition of that was not over the top. I've worked with a fair amount of those, especially in the coconut realm, and it can become like suntan lotion real quick. And the flavor profile, you get the coconut, but it doesn't come across as super artificial. It does have a nice toastedness to it, and I think that's the balance of the rye in there really helps that.
And Tom, I mean, it definitely seems like a very polished brand for being so new to the market. Clearly, lots of years in development. What's your takeaway?
Yeah, no, definitely. As she mentioned, I mean, the cards are a great theme, and having all of the different, kind of iconic imagery on those, and a good amount of interesting beers without, completely spoiling it. And I mean, this beer has just massive coconut, but it still has a really nice base. I love rye. I know Kevin does as well. I've known him for brewers a long time, but I think it's just really nice beer, really good overall branding package. It seems like an older brewery than it probably really is. Yeah.
Tommy, what are your thoughts about sort of the future of this brand? It's starting from a really good place, it seems. How about long term? Where do you see a brand like this going?
I love the integration. I mean, I love the sense of at least this is what we're going to do and the deliverables in terms of the way that the labels were put together. Chief concern is that a lot of people are moving to this monochromatic or this single color palette on a shelf. So while you've got this great end cap, I've seen other breweries doing this, at least black, blue, purple, green, orange. Not a problem in that regard. I only want to know more about the Barley Forge story, how it came to be, or if you're going to get away from the actual story being about the brewery name itself and the Patsy and the other names being more about the brand specific, that's fine. I just didn't hear the connection to the Barley Forge part.
Yeah, that was my impression as well. Like I felt like a very smart, well-executed brand, sort of for the place or the geography that you're in, but I didn't necessarily connect that to the name Barley Forge or that iconography at all, really, or how you guys are going to own something that clearly has inspiration in Latin America. I was missing that connection a little bit. Like if I walked into Barley Forge now, I would expect to see a very different set of people, perhaps, that are using La Lateria so core to their brand, that are going to tell that story to me. Than maybe I would find today. So that might be a little unexpected.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. I'll take that.